What you are seeing on the screen is Madrid Airport, the busiest in Spain, and we are about to find out what are the different types of transportation we can use to reach Madrid city center from the airport. As we do at the beginning of every year, we visited the airport to update the information, so we are able to tell you how to leave the airport in an easy to understand way. We spent many hours trying to devise the most helpful tool, and I think we finally got it. Here's our hopefully very helpful guide to transportation from Madrid Airport. Hola, ¿qué tal? Hello, I am Tony Galvez from Road Trip Spain and Portugal, where we help you plan the perfect trip with practical information, insider tips, and our very own travel guides. Yes, Madrid Airport is quite big by European standards at least, and can be intimidating to the uninitiated. We hope that when you finish watching the video, you will feel much more at ease than when you started. There's a lot of information you need to know to get out of the airport, and as we take off, let's take a look at the summary of the video and how we have organized this information. First of all, we are going to show you a summary of the different means of transportation leaving the airport, how much they cost, and how to pay for them. Next, you will see a guide on how to get to the main destinations in Madrid from the airport. Thirdly, you will learn about the layout of the airport and its terminals and essential information to know which transport to choose. And we will give you specific instructions to get to each type of transport, terminal by terminal. And finally, we will talk about each of these types of transportation in more detail. Let's start by taking a brief look at the transport that allows you to travel from Madrid Airport to the city center and how much it costs. The metro, until at least July 2025, if you pay with a Metrobús 10-trip journey, it will cost you 61 cents, plus an airport surcharge of €3. We don't know yet, but from July, the ticket price may rise to €1.22. The price includes transfers to other lines. This journey must be validated with a multi-card, which costs €2.50 and can be shared by several people. The Madrid Metro is starting a project to allow payment by bank card at the Metro Barajas, but for the time being, this option is not available yet. The train. The price of a single ticket to the center of Madrid is €2.60. The price includes transfers to other lines you will need if you want to reach the city center. The journey can be validated with a Renfe&Tú card, which is individual and costs 50 cents, or with a contactless bank card or cell phone. Line 203, the Express Airport bus. The ticket costs €5 and can be bought from the driver, paid for with cash or with a contactless card or phone. Local buses 101 and 200. The fare bought on the bus is 61 cents when paid for with a Metrobús 10-trip journey, or 150 when bought on the bus. The journey can be validated with a multi-card, with cash, or with a contactless card or cell phone. Cabs operate at a flat rate of €33 to the center of Madrid. You can pay in cash or by credit card. Finally, there are the VTCs, ride-sharing services, which in Madrid are Bolt, Cabify and Uber. The price is dynamic and you pay through the app, where you must register to use it. Let's have a look now at a tool we have developed to help you choose the best transportation depending on your destination in Madrid. Are you arriving at Terminal 4S? If no, continue to step 2. If yes, take a look at video 17 on the channel, where we explain how to get from T4S to T4, and continue to step 2. Are you traveling with a lot of luggage, in a family or group, or with children or elderly people? If the answer is no, wait a second till we get to step 3. If the answer is yes, and for you safety and comfort are a priority, you can take a taxi, which will cost you €33 to the center of Madrid. Or you can take a ride-sharing service, which will probably be cheaper, but work on dynamic pricing. If saving money is a priority for you, watch video 128 on the channel and continue with step 3. Are you heading to the center of Madrid? If so, continue to step 4. If the answer is no, ask. There are many transport options that can take you to your destination. If within the center of Madrid you are heading specifically to the Atocha region, you can take a taxi from terminals 1, 2, 3 or 4, which will cost you 33 euros. Or you can take a Bolt, Cabify or Uber, which will probably be cheaper but operate with dynamic pricing. Depending on the time of the day, they can be more expensive or cheaper. You can take the Airport Express bus from terminals 1, 2, 3 and 4, which will drop you off at Atocha station for 5 euros. You can also take the train from the airport at T4 to Chamartín, where you will need to change to the C2, C3, C4, C7 or C8 lines of Madrid trains, which will take you to Atocha station. The total cost of the journey will be 260 plus 50 cents for the Renfe&Tú card. If you're heading to the region of the Puerta del Sol, you can take a taxi from terminals 1, 2, 3 or 4, which will cost you 33. Or you can take a ride-sharing service, which operate with dynamic pricing. You can also take the train from the airport at T4 to Chamartín, where you will need to change to the C3 or C4 lines of Madrid trains, which will take you to Sol station. The total cost of the journey will be 260 plus 50 cents for the Renfe&Tú card. If you are heading to the region of the Gran Via, you can take a taxi from terminals 1, 2, 3 or 4, which will cost you 33, or you can take a ride-sharing service, which operate with dynamic pricing. You can take the metro from the airport from terminals 2 or 4, which will take you to Gran Via for 361 plus 250 for the multicard, and with several transfers. In video 69, we explained the combinations of metro lines needed to get to each of the Gran Via metro stations. Finally, if you are going to any other place in the center of Madrid that we have not mentioned so far, please ask us so that we can advise you as accurately as possible. To be able to choose the best alternative for you, you need to understand Madrid Airport. So let's have a look at it. Beginning with its location. Madrid's only airport is located to the northeast of the city. Its official name is Aeropuerto Adolfo Suárez Madrid Barajas, and it is also known simply as Aeropuerto de Barajas. Its IATA code is MAD, M-A-D. The airport has 4 runways around which 5 terminals are arranged. Terminals 1, 2 and 3 are part of the same building and correspond to the original older airport. Terminal 4 and Terminal 4S, opened in the 21st century, are located in another part of the airport, separated from each other. We are going to have to go a little closer to the terminals to review 2 important facts when planning your departure from the airport. If your flight arrives at T4S, you should know that public transport does not reach the terminal. As its name suggests, T4 Satellite is an isolated terminal. To leave the airport, you will have to take a free train that will take you to T4, where you will collect your luggage and access the different public transport options. We have a video on the channel where we explain in detail how to get from T4S to T4. The second thing you should know is that if you arrive at terminals T1, T2 and T3 and you want to take the airport train, you will have to go to T4. The distance between terminals 1, 2 and 3 and 4 is too far to walk, so you'll have to use a free airport shuttle bus, which we'll talk about later. Having presented the terminals, here's the good news. Madrid Airport is very well connected with the city's public transport, and the options for getting from the airport are numerous. You have the metro, the airport train, the Airport Express bus, conventional buses, long-distance buses, taxis, and ride-sharing services. Before we look at each transport in detail, let's see their location in each terminal. If you arrive at T1, you can leave with the Airport Express line bus, with conventional buses 101 or 200, in a taxi, in a ride-sharing service, By metro, walking to the station in T2, or you could take the bus to T4 to leave by train or long-distance bus. As soon as you pick up your luggage and go out into the public part of the airport, you will see signs pointing you in the direction of public transport. It's all very easy. First, let's go out of the T1 building. On one side, you will find the taxi rank. On the other, the express line bus, first of all, and the local bus stops 101 and 200 a little further on. If you want to take a hotel transfer, the stop is right in front of the express line bus stop. If you want to take a Bolt, Cabify, Uber, you'll walk straight ahead to the uncovered car park, and here you'll need to refer to the instructions on your app, as each company operates in a different module of the car park. Let's see how to get out of T1 by metro. While we show you the way on the screen, remember that there is no metro station in T1. You have to walk to T2 where the nearest station is. Here's some good news and some not so good news. Which one do you want first? The good news is that the walk to the T2 metro station is very easy and well signposted. You cannot get lost. The bad news is that it is long, very long, so if you are traveling with a lot of luggage, think twice because it's a very tiring walk. When you get to the metro station, you'll see that there are plenty of vending machines where you can buy your tickets, as well as a ticket office staffed by a metro employee. Finally, to catch the bus to T4, you'll need to go up to the departures level and exit outside the terminal where the bus stop is. You may want to go to T4 to leave the airport by train or long-distance bus. If you arrive at T2, you can take the Airport Express line bus. Conventional buses 101 or 200, a taxi, a ride-sharing service, the metro, or you could take the bus to T4 to leave by train or long-distance bus. When you collect your luggage and exit to the public part of the airport, walk to the outside of the terminal. You will see the taxi rank in front of you, and if you cross to the other side of the street, you'll come to the Airport Express line, buses 101 and 200, and hotel shuttles. On one side are the taxis, on the other are all of the above. If you're taking a ride-sharing service, you'll need to check the directions on the app. To catch the metro, you have to walk inside the terminal following the signs. It is again a walk, but fortunately shorter than the one we took from T1. The last big corridor leading to the metro station is the same as the one we took from T1. If you want to take the bus to T4, you will have to go up to the departures level to catch the bus that is already going to T4. You will follow the same route as if you were taking the metro, except that in the final corridor you will pay attention to the sign we show you on the screen, which indicates the way to the bus stop. If you take the bus connecting the terminals on the arrivals level, it will take you longer, as it will go first to T1, go up to the departures level. Finally, let's get out of T4. If you arrive at T4, you can leave by train, you can leave by metro, you can leave by taxi, you can take the Airport Express line bus, you can take the bus to the other terminals, you can take the regular 200 bus, you can take a ride-sharing service, or you can take a long-distance bus. Once you have your luggage and have reached the public part of the airport, look for the signs pointing the way to all the transport alternatives. To exit by metro or train, the route is very similar. Go down a ramp. At the end of the ramp, on the right, there is a booth where you can buy tickets from an employee. Keep walking until you reach the entrances to the metro and train stations. The metro entrance is the first one on the left, and the train entrance is just after it. If you walk straight ahead and exit outside the terminal, you will find, first on the right, the taxi rank. Keep walking. If you turn left, you will come to the shuttle bus stop for the hotels near the airport and the car rental companies outside the terminal. Turning right, you will first find the express line stop, then the bus that takes you to the other terminals, in case you need to change terminals, and finally the departure point for the 200 bus. To get to the long-distance bus terminal or to take a ride-sharing service, you need to get to the car park building, which is outside the main terminal. It is well signposted. At the end of the walkway connecting the terminal to the car park building, your path splits in two. Go left to catch a ride-sharing service and right to reach the small bus station. We will go to the bus station first and come back later to show you the way to the ride-sharing services. To get to the bus station, you will have to walk quite a way, but it is very easy, well signposted, and most of it has automatic conveyor belts, so it is not so tiring. When you get to the terminal, look on the screens for the location of the departure point of your bus and rest until it leaves. Let's go back to the ride-sharing path. Each company works in a specific module of the car park. We're going to go here to the Bolt and Uber point. Both companies share the same space right now. Take the lift and as soon as you get off, you will see the waiting area. Cabify operates in a different parking module. Check the app for details. And to finish the video, let's look in detail at each of the means of transportation that will take you from the airport to Madrid city center. As we have highlighted along the video, the airport is very well connected with downtown Madrid, with many options for all budgets and levels of comfort. Let's start with the airport metro. There are two metro stations at the airport. The pink line number 8, the airport line, runs through both stations. The first station from the airport is at T4. Leaving T4, there is a station in the town of Barajas and the line continues entering the airport again with a second station inside the airport which is at T2 and serves those arriving at T1, T2 or T3. Now let's see where you can travel with the airport metro. We have already seen the first 3 metro stations from the airport. After the airport, the next station is Feria de Madrid, followed by Mar de Cristal, where you can transfer to line 4. Continues to Pinar del Rey, Colombia, with transfer to line 9, and finally Nuevos Ministerios, the last station on the line, where you can transfer to lines 6 and 10. Nuevos Ministerios is located north of the tourist center of Madrid, so it is very likely that your accommodation will not be nearby. Therefore, if you choose to take the metro out of the airport, you will almost certainly need to change to another line that will take you closer to your accommodation. Which line you need to change to will depend very much on where your hotel is located. If you have any doubts, ask us and we will try to explain what would be the best combination of lines in your case. The Madrid Metro runs from Monday to Sunday, including public holidays, from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. The running times can change depending on the day. If you are planning to take the metro at the first or final operating time, make sure you double check the current timings. Let's see how to buy tickets to travel on the Madrid Metro. To travel on public transport in Madrid, you need to have a multi-card, which is the support on which tickets are loaded. In Madrid, you pay for the journeys you make on the metro and the buses with this multi-card. If you are not familiar with the multi-card, we have a video on our channel explaining what it is and how it works. Do not miss it. Let's go to the machines to see how to buy the multi-card and load the tickets. The machines are clearly identified with the Metro logo on the front. On the initial screen, select the English version of the page. Then touch on Purchase Transport Card. Next, you need to choose the type of ticket to be loaded onto the multi-card. There are several options. Our recommendation is that you choose 10 journeys. Now select Metrobús 10 journeys. This ticket allows you to make 10 journeys on the metro or the buses of Madrid. It can be shared. As you will be using the airport metro line, you will have to pay a supplement, a special surcharge that you pay both when you leave the airport and when you return to the airport. Basically, every time you get on or off the metro at the airport, you will have to pay this supplement. Please note that the supplement is only valid on the day of purchase, so don't buy now the supplement for the day of your return to the airport. You have to buy a supplement for each person traveling with you. As there are 2 of us, I choose 2 and touch on Accept. On the next screen, you will see a summary of the purchase. You are buying the multi-card, which at the time of recording the video costs €2.50, the 10-trip Metrobus, €6.10, and 2 airport supplements, which cost €3 each. At the top of the screen, you can see the total price of the purchase. Tap on Accept. If you want a purchase invoice, touch on Yes, otherwise touch on No. And now it's time to pay. You can pay with banknotes, coins, but you will need a lot of them, or bank card, including contactless cards or smartphones. When you have completed your purchase, the multi-card will appear in the tray at the bottom of the machine. Take the card, and if there is any change, collect it too. If you already have a multi-card from a previous trip to Madrid, on the initial screen, you will choose Insert your transport card. Insert the card and continue with the same sequence as explained earlier. The only difference is that you will not pay for the multi-card. The cost of leaving the airport until at least July 2025 per person, paying with a Metrobus for 10 journeys, is 61 cents per ticket plus the €3 airport supplement, a total of €3.61. Remember that you will still have to spend €2.50 to buy a multi-card which can be shared. If you don't go out on the street, if you stay inside the stations, you won't have to pay every time you change metro lines. You will only spend 1 ticket per person to go from the airport to your destination. Let's see how the ticket is validated. To enter the metro station, you have to bring your multi-card to the green reader next to the gates and wait for your ticket to be validated. If several people are traveling together with the same multi-card, it is very easy. As you can see in the images, the person holding the multi-card stands next to the reader, validates one person's ticket, and repeats the operation as many times as necessary. Let's talk now about the airport train. There is only one train station at the airport, which is in Terminal T4. Madrid Airport is served by a line of Madrid's metropolitan trains known as Trenes de Cercanías and operated by Renfe. The line serving Madrid Airport is the C1. Its first station is at the airport. It later stops at Valdebebas and Fuente de la Mora and terminates at Chamartín Station, the starting point for high-speed train routes to Castilla y León, Galicia, and some routes to Valencia and the Mediterranean coast. Until recently, and this is big news in 2025, there were 2 lines connecting the airport with Atocha Station and beyond. However, with the reorganization of lines that has just taken place in Madrid, this connection between Atocha and the airport no longer exists. Anyone wishing to travel from the airport to Atocha Station needs to change at Chamartín Station. We'll explain shortly how this transfer is made. We think the elimination of the direct connection between the airport and Atocha and vice versa is very bad news. The comfort of the direct connection has been replaced by the need for a transfer which, for those traveling with suitcases and unfamiliar with Chamartín Station, can be a bit of a hassle and will certainly make the journey take longer. The Madrid Airport train runs from Monday to Sunday, including public holidays, from 6 a.m. to midnight, but it is essential that you check the timetables on the date of your journey if you are taking the train at the beginning or end of the day. We'll show you how to buy tickets to travel on the airport train from the machines in a second. But if you want to pay by contactless bank card or with a smartphone, just look for a barrier with the ID shown on the screen now. Put your card near the reader at the top and enter. You will have to repeat the same operation at the destination station when you leave. The system will calculate the distance traveled and debit your account with the amount of the journey. A single card can be used to pay for the journeys of several people. The advantage of this payment method is that you do not need to buy a ticket and your journey will not cost you more if you pay by bank card this way. If you want to benefit from the Combinado Cercanías, which is an IRIO and Renfe advantage for those customers taking a high-speed train within 4 hours, you will have to look for a barrier with a QR code reader. All you have to do is bring the QR code on your ticket and enter the station without paying for your journey. Don't forget to watch the video where we give you all the information you need to know about the Combinado Cercanías benefit. Let's go to the machines to see how to buy tickets. Renfe has 2 different types of machines. The ones you should use are the grey machines with a red section and the words Cercanías Renfe on the screen above the machine. If necessary, touch the screen with your finger until the Select Your Ticket screen appears. Select Adulto Ida. We're buying a single ticket. On the next screen, you will be asked if you want to use your Renfe&Tú card. If you do not live in Madrid, you will not have this card, so select No. Although we are selecting the English language version, most messages appear in Spanish the same, so we will help you translate their meaning as we go along. Another message will appear telling you not to throw away the Renfe&Tú card as it is reusable. Click on Yes. On the next screen, you have to select the station you want to travel to. Here we are going to illustrate how to get to Atocha, but the procedure is the same for trips to other stations. At the time of recording the video, and despite being one of the most frequent destinations, the machine does not show Atocha on the initial screen, so we must look for it. Press the yellow Otras Estaciones button, Other Stations button, type the first 3 letters of the name of the station until it appears and touch on it. You will see a summary of the purchase. If you want to buy more than 1 ticket, click on the corresponding button to select a larger number. Touch on Confirm. And now it is time to choose the method of payment, which can be cash or bank card, including contactless bank cards or smartphones. Once payment is complete, the ticket will appear at the bottom of the machine. In your hands, a Renfe&Tú card loaded with a single ticket from Madrid Airport to Atocha station, remembering that you will need to transfer lines at Chamartín station to reach Atocha. You will have to have a card for each person traveling with you. Once the journey is over, do not throw the card away. You can use it on the return trip to the airport when you will not have to pay for the card again. In 2025, a single ticket to the center of Madrid costs €2.60. Remembering that if you don't have a Renfe&Tú card, you will also pay 50 cents for it the first time you have to buy it. Except in the case of payment by contactless card, in which case you will only pay €2.60. Let's see how to use the airport train. First, locate the station entrance, which is just to the right of the ticket machines. Look for the word Renfe in large letters. A panel will indicate the departure times of the next trains. To validate your journey, bring your Renfe&Tú card close to the reader, both when you enter the station and when you leave at your destination. To get to the platform where you will catch the train, you will go down an escalator or take a lift. Hop on the train, sit back and relax. In less than 15 minutes, you should get from the airport to Chamartín station. As we mentioned earlier, if you want to continue on your way to Atocha, you'll have to change trains at Chamartín. Lines C2, C3, C4, C7 and C8 will take you from Chamartín to Atocha with 2 stops along the way. The journey time is approximately 15 minutes. Let's see how this transfer is made. When you get off the airport train at Chamartín station, take the stairs down to the basement where there is a corridor connecting all the platforms. Look for a screen with the next departures. The information you'll be looking for is how many minutes are left until the next train leaves. Tip: don't choose a train that's about to leave so you don't have to run wild. The line number, destination and stops along the way, and the platform on which the train will run. Walk up to the platform where the train is leaving and take the escalator. Make sure that the next train to stop at the platform is yours by always checking the information on the platform screen, which indicates the direction of the next train and the stops it will make along the way. Get on the train and relax. Madrid Airport has an express bus, line 203, known as Línea Exprés Aeropuerto, which takes you directly to the center of Madrid. In fact, it is the only bus line that leaves the airport and arrives in the center. It has stops at T4, T2 and T1 arrivals. It departs for Madrid, has a stop at O'Donnell, another at Cibeles, and finally arrives at Atocha. The Airport Express line runs 24 hours a day from Monday to Sunday. However, it is important to know that between 11:30 p.m. and 6 a.m., the Atocha stop is not operational, so the bus only goes as far as Cibeles. The journey between the airport and Atocha should not take more than 40 minutes. The buses are blue and carry a large Airport Express sign in the side window. The ticket costs €5 with no discounts and it is only valid on Línea Express. Madrid public transport tickets are not valid on Línea Express. The ticket is purchased from the driver, who will give you a maximum change of €20. You can also pay by contactless bank card or with your mobile phone by bringing it up to the reader on the left of the driver. The bus is equipped with luggage racks, so you can take large suitcases on board. As it is a very popular means of transport, it can get crowded at stops, especially if you take it at T1 when it arrives full of passengers who have taken the bus from T4 and T2. In addition to the express line, there are two other local bus lines from the airport, the 101 and the 200. Line 101, which uses small buses, departs from the town of Barajas, passes through terminals 2 and 1 of the airport, and goes as far as Canillejas, allowing you to connect with the Madrid Metro outside the airport without having to pay the surcharge for leaving the airport. If you take the 101, make sure you take it in the right direction. If you want to go to Canillejas, do not take the bus in the direction of Barajas. City Bus Line 200 departs from T4, stops at T2 and T1, stops at Canillejas, and continues to the bus station at the Avenida de América interchange, with connections to the metro and bus lines. You can buy your ticket from the driver to travel on lines 101 and 200, but be aware that he will only give change to those who pay with a ticket of no more than €5. You can also pay for this journey with a contactless card or a smartphone, paying the full fare. A single ticket costs €150. If you have a Metrobus 10 journeys loaded on a multi-card, that journey will cost you 61 cents. To leave the airport by conventional bus, you don't have to pay the airport surcharge. Lines 101 and 200 are an interesting option for those who already know Madrid, do not travel with a lot of luggage, and want to transfer to the metro without paying the special airport surcharge. These two lines are the only conventional buses in Madrid on which you can take large suitcases. Buses run from 6 a.m. to near midnight, but check the updated timetables as they may change depending on the day of the week. And while we're on the subject of buses, and although the main purpose of the video is to explain how to get to the center of Madrid, it's worth mentioning that Madrid Airport is connected to many long-distance bus lines that take you to other cities in Spain. All these lines operate from a new bus terminal next to T4. It's a nice new facility that eliminates the chaos of boarding outside T4. Most of the long-distance buses that stop at the airport only stop here at the Terminal 4 bus station. If you arrive at T1, T2 or T3 and want to catch a long-distance bus, you will first have to travel to T4 using the bus that connects the terminals. Let's move on to taxis and VTCs, which is how ride-sharing services such as Uber are known in Spain. Taxis are one of the transport options for getting out of Madrid Airport. Madrid taxis are easy to recognize, painted white with a red stripe on the front doors. What determines how much you will pay for the taxi is whether the address you are heading to is inside or outside Calle 30. Calle 30, better known as M30, is one of Madrid's ring roads, within which you will find the city center and all the neighborhoods we have recommended for accommodation in the city. The fare from the airport to the M30 is a flat rate of 33 euros per vehicle at any time of the day or night. The taxi driver cannot add any other amount above 33 euros, regardless of the number of passengers, day of the week, time of the day, or amount of luggage. You pay 33 euros. The cost for journeys from the airport to outside the M30, when the distance is less than 9 kilometers, is a fixed cost of 22 euros. When the distance is more than 9 kilometers, you will pay 22 euros plus the meter reading. These fares apply both in the airport city and city airport directions. If you are not sure whether your accommodation is inside or outside the M30, ask us. Each of Madrid's airport terminals has a large, well-signposted taxi rank. In addition to full-size taxis, Madrid's taxi fleet includes vans carrying up to 8 passengers. If you need a van, you can request it at the taxi rank. Vans also apply the fixed rate of 33 euros to the center of Madrid. Competing with taxis are the services known in Spain as VTCs, or chauffeur-driven transport vehicles. At the moment, the main companies operating at Madrid Airport are Bolt, Cabify and Uber. As you know, there are no fixed prices. The companies work with dynamic rates. Now you will see on the screen the prices that the apps gave us for the airport to Atocha station ride from T2, closer to the center of Madrid, and from T4. Even at the most expensive rate, all the fares were lower than the 33 euro fixed rate charged by taxis. It is always worth comparing the fares charged by the different companies. The advantage of ride-sharing services is the lower prices. The disadvantage is that you will have to walk a bit to get to the boarding points. Let's move on to the last piece of advice. Take it very seriously. In all of the above-mentioned transport, in all of them, be extremely careful with your belongings. Madrid is a very touristy city, and pickpockets love to take advantage of tourists' carelessness. Even on the bus between terminals, as a dear friend of ours, an experienced traveler knows. He had his documents stolen on the shuttle bus connecting the terminals. We have made a video with some thoughts on the subject, which we have already mentioned several times and which we would like you to watch. And a more recent video with plenty of practical advice and strategies to prevent you from falling victim of pickpockets. The key: carry your passport, money and mobile phone in an inside pocket that it is impossible to access. And if you don't think you'll have enough hands to take care of each suitcase and an extra hand to hold on to it in transport, choose a less risky form of transport, such as taxis, even if they are more expensive. That's it, we have reached the end of the video. In it, we have put the updated transport prices for early 2025. In the first comment below the video, we will update those prices whenever there are any changes. To help you optimize your time in Madrid and make the most of your visit, we have published our very own Madrid walking tours. They are electronic guides of our own that will take you through the most important must-see parts of Madrid, including food stops along the way. No need to rack your brains on how to visit Madrid. We've done that work for you. Our series of Madrid walking tours are part of our collection of walking tours dedicated to the most important cities in Spain and published through our Travel Guide Spain and Portugal brand. As always, if you have any questions about the topic of the video, take the advantage of the commentary box to ask, especially if you want to know how to get to your hotel. If you are planning to visit Madrid, you will not want to miss our long list of videos dedicated to the Spanish capital here in the channel. You can see the list on the screen and it is there where we are waiting for you now.